Hey guys, it's Bugsy Dan and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to thank you guys for all the love and support on the last video. It was easily the biggest video of my channel so far, so thank you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right guys, in today's video, we'll be ranking Valorant agents based on the IQ of the person who plays as them. Okay, so pretty much if you play this character, this is I think like what IQ you have. So it ranges from 1000 all the way down to negative infinity, which I think we know characters go in that category. So I'm just gonna start with the most obvious choice, the Jett. Yeah, we all know this. If you play Jett, you have no brain cells in your head. If you play Jett, you can't think for yourself. You're just a little baby goo goo gaga. That's all you do. You just go goo goo gaga, you insta lock her, you drop 5 kills in a fucking game, 5 and 20, we lose the game, and you blame it on the rest of your teammates, and you wonder why your heart's stuck bronze.
Derek.
Reyna is in the same category, but maybe a little higher. So instead of having negative IQ, 0 IQ, you're an idiot. There's a small subcategory of Reyna players that you could handle, that actually play good, but 99% of the time it's insta-lock Reynas that don't know how to play the character and then just shit the bed. Astra, I was originally gonna put in 1000 IQ, and there definitely are some really good and smart Astra players, but that hasn't been the case recently. I haven't seen a smart Astra in years. Now they're just kind of like mid-brain. They kind of think a little bit. They're just average players.
They don't know
like me.
No.
Well, Astra's an ass. Like I said, there's still some really good Astra players that are in the 1000 IQ, but the majority is just normies like me that try to play her sometimes and then do okay with her. Hello? The website broke, man. It's not even showing up on my alt tab. Oh, it reset itself. Bro, my IQ listing is gone. Breach, I think, is very capable of being up there. Not too high up there, like maximum 200 IQ, but he's usually 40 IQ. Usually when you have a breach on your team, all you get is get blinded, stunned by your own breach. 40 IQ. They're mostly stupid as Brim. Brim is a pretty smart character. Normal people use them, and normal people are usually pretty good with them. The highest you're gonna get is like a Molly lineup, but that's chill. You don't need anything more than that. He's just if you use Brim, you're kind of chill and you're kind of a nice guy. Now, as a ex-chamber main, I could say that if you use him, you're usually just an absolute idiot. You don't know where to put your trips. You don't know where to put your TPs. You don't know how to TP even if you're in it. You don't know how to aim with your weapon, even though that's kind of his whole goddamn shtick. Like 99% of chamber mains are just toxic, usually racist, and just like
Takes one to know one.
the worst. No, it does not take a racist to know a racist. Usually when you hear the N-word in voice comms, that's pretty racist. Cypher, if you play Cypher, you're pretty goddamn smart, because there are so many better agents than him, especially Sentinels. And if you're still popping off with his traps and his trips and his gateways or whatever they're called, you're a pretty smart guy.
Ages?
Yeah. The only person that I know that plays him is Eric, and he usually does pretty good with him. And it's a very respectable pick, especially on maps such as Haven and Ascent and Pearl. I pulled those out of my ass, those names of those maps. Okay, Fade. If you use Fade, I think that you're also up there, just because it's not quite like mid enough to be at like the 100 IQ, but it's also not 1000. Like some of the, like it's pretty easy to have lineups with the head thing with her E, and it's pretty easy to make some plays once you spot people and you send your dogs after them. Some of those plays, if it gets the bite and they're blinded and they're deafened and they turn into Helen Keller, it's pretty easy to get those picks and to make a play with the character. So I think even if you're just using her, your base IQ is about 200. I'm gonna leave this special guy for last because I have a couple of words about him. KO. If you're using KO, I think it's also kind of the same up there. Actually, no, I'll put him down one.
It doesn't take much skill.
Yeah, exactly. KO, as long as he throws knife in a good spot that covers like most of sight or most of where you're like worried about, that's like good info just off a rip. However, the main reason why I didn't put him in 200 is because the amount of time that I've been flashed by my own KO's flashes is insane. Every single one of KO's flashes on my own team hits me. Always. Never not hitting me. Constantly hitting me. And the amount of times I've died because of it is like, if I had a nickel for every time I died to a KO flash, I would have fucking Scrooge McDuck swimming pool type shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The rest of the time, when I'm not getting targeted by his flashes instead of the enemy, he's pretty good. KJ, the only KJ I know is in the call with me, so I'm gonna put him in that category.
Oh, got to watch the stream. Hey, fuck you.
Nah, but for real though. I was thinking 100, but nah, 40.
40? I'm
mainly
sick of your ass.
because I'm not saying, dude, you're the exception. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm the
Like,
only
even
KJ you know.
Yeah, that I know, not that I've played with. Andy, he is a judge only KJ, pretty much, except for when he picks up a Vandal and whiffs it and then buys Judge next round. That's kind of where Andy's at. But when it comes to the rest of the KJs out there, they don't know how to set up their own shit. Even if they plant the spike and throw down their traps on it and the enemy doesn't break it when they go to defuse, they still don't activate their traps. And they end up losing the round every single time. Their turrets are always okay because it's not that hard to set up a turret on like a high spot and like a spot that reveals most of the site. But besides that, they just don't know how to use their abilities. Their alarm bots, even if it spots someone, they don't turn around to look or like watch flank or whatever. They're mostly just pretty goddamn stupid. And yeah, Neon, ooh, this is a tough one because there's either like a really good Neon that I wouldn't say is quite 100 or 1000, but is at least like 200 with their movement. But I would say most Neons are kind of in the same category as Reyna, where they insta-lock, they run around, either activate their run, think they're like how to noodle, jumping around, vibing out, and then they just get shot in the head. Or when we're trying to enter site, they miss their stun and stun the entire team and stop the push on their own without even the enemies doing anything. So Neon has got to go in 0 IQ. Omen takes low-key, like the Omens I've seen, you know what? If you're an Omen main, I think you're 1000 IQ. No, I might have to move a couple because I'm thinking of mains. If you main them, I think Cypher is up there too. Same with Astra, actually. Yeah, going off, if you main the character, if you main any of these, like main, you're usually pretty goddamn smart. No, I might keep Cypher down there, actually. But yeah, if you main Omen, you could make some crazy plays, like smokes, fake teleports, real teleports, blinds, everything. When it comes to you, yeah, but that's like 40 IQ plays.
And Eric. You.
Well, you guys aren't that smart, but I've seen some crazy Omens. If you're one of these 1000 IQ Omen mains, you're 1000 IQ. Phoenix? Oh, yeah, I think that's negative infinite. It's kind of the same as Jett, because Jett and Phoenix are like the poster boy and girl of Valorant. So if you're just playing the game for the first time, you're gonna pick one of these characters and you're usually gonna be dog shit. You're gonna end up flashing your teammates. That's a pretty common thing, actually. You just getting constantly stunned, blinded, and everything by your own team. So unless you have a really good like Phoenix or KO or like anything, you're gonna get hit with those effects even though you're on their team. But it's especially prevalent with Phoenix. I have never not gotten flashed by my own Phoenix at least once a game, even if I'm playing with a really good one. And the amount of times I've been like mollied somehow on accident by an own Phoenix, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but you're definitely an idiot if you play Phoenix, if you main them. Or you're just super racist too. Phoenixes and Chambers are some of the most racist Valorant players ever. And that's just a fact.
What happens if one of your watchers is a fucking Phoenix main?
Well, then I'm sure they're the exception to the rule, but...
Oh, the dick riding is crazy.
Maybe they're racist. I don't know. Raze, if you're a main of Raze and you actually know how to use the satchels and everything, I'd give you 100 IQ. Actually, you know, some of this, if you're like a main and you're really good at the character and you know how to like mix your satchels with your ultimate and all that crazy shit, you're 200 IQ. Some of those plays are insane when it comes to Raze blast packs. I've seen some that go when you're on ascent, you jump from outside the box through the side, through the alleyway, ultimate, and just blast the entire team through the gate. I've seen that a couple of times from several different Razes. So it seems like the base line for Raze is pretty smart, at least the ones that actually know how to play the character.
And there's Guga.
And then there's Guga. Sage, I think Sage is pretty standard. Like, you can't really be bad at Sage. I mean, you could just not heal, but even still, like, you know how to use the wall, you know how to use the slows, It's just pretty simple. So I think the baseline for a Sage is just average. Skye, not as bad with the flashes and stuff, because they like you could exactly put your flash to like far away from your team and still blind the enemies. And some of it's just like, it's kind of the same actually, like just average IQ. You're not too stupid, you're not too smart. It's just a pretty good overall character for normal people. When it comes to Sova, this kind of hurts me because I am low-key a Sova main.
No, you're not, bro. Don't lie to yourself.
At least I used to be, and I still play him a lot nowadays.
In beta.
Sovas are so goddamn stupid. I cannot even lie. They're like, I feel like the IQ level used to be up here, but as the acts keep going, it's just lower and lower and lower. I'm not gonna give it, it's like, they're not quite as stupid as these ones down here, but it's just like some of the most clowny plays I've ever seen. Like, if you're average Jonas, yeah, you could play this character like at 1,000 IQ, but everybody except for him is like 40 IQ if you main this character. And that's why I've kind of moved on to other characters. Okay, Viper is pretty, like, they could be up here in one of these spots. I would say, yeah, if you're like a actual main of Viper, you're probably around 200 IQ, because there's a lot of stuff and like plays that you can make.
The lineups are annoying, bro.
Yeah, lineups, but that's like smart thinking. Plays in her ultimate with like shotguns, that's not even like ratty, it's just like good thinking.
You don't understand how fucking annoyed I get with Viper fucking lineups.
Yeah, that's just good. They always win the round at the end of the day, the Vipers. So yeah, definitely 200 IQ player. Yoru?
Oh god.
And like, I'm gonna be the one to say this, considering I really like playing Yoru. You're an idiot if you play Yoru. Like, actually no, like, that's the majority though. I have to remember, if you're maining this character, like if you're like Ethos, or I've seen average Jonas play really, really good Yoru, you could high key, as far as duelists go, you could be pretty high up there. Like, I would even say like 200 IQ type area, because some of those, like, you shoot your TP, watch it go, and then you throw your flash and TP at the same time. The amount of plays I've seen like that and it works out is crazy. Like, I've done it a couple times, but usually I mess it up, and that's what separates me from the Yoru mains. But if you could use Yoru good, you could use Yoru good. Finally, Harbor. New character, hasn't been out that much. Literally watching streamers play him early and watching people play him now, he's like a good character overall, but not nearly as OP as like people like made him out to look, if you know what I mean. Like, his smoke that's invulnerable can be broken with like half a Vandal mag, so it's not that crazy, and then it just goes down a second later, so you could just like shoot the smoke away.
Yeah,
so
but
you could barely even get a plant off. What?
It counters lineups.
Ooh, I didn't know that. So
doesn't it not?
If lineups, I never even thought of that. If lineups like bounce off of it and don't go through it, that's crazy. That's like really good, and that definitely boosts him up a little bit as an overall character. But we're not talking about how good the character is. We're talking about the IQ of the main. I haven't seen any people that's like called themselves a main of Harbor yet, except for like clickbait titles. But from what I've seen from people that have used him, overall, it's like pretty averagely smart, because it's kind of hard to mess up Harbor. Like, you can't sabotage your own team with him. Like, the max you could do is give your team a slow effect for like half a second with his cascade, but that's really it. I mean, like, you can't mess up playing him. Like, he's just an easy ass character to play and a good overall character to have on your team. So it doesn't take smarts to play him, and you can't be stupid while playing him. So it's just mid. He's just average IQ. So this is the final list of people. Let's hope that you guys aren't in this lower half of the graph, or else I hate you.
Who's left? I'm not even watching stream. Did you
just
finish
kidding.
it?
This is my list of my Valorant agents that if you play them, this is your IQ. Still workshopping the name of this. I don't care if this made you angry. It's just the truth.
One big video and your ego's up.
I am better than you.